Welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's newspaper. Like for example, today we are going to be covering the current affairs from 3rd of August 2024 through 4 to 5 MCQs. Okay, so every day we cover a particular day's current affairs through 4 to 5 MCQs. The purpose of this lecture series is very simple. First of all, we want you to cover your current affairs daily. Second of all, we want you to practice MCQs from those current affairs because current affairs forms a important portion of your prelims examination as well as mains examination, no doubt. But prelims examination, definitely. And MCQ practice from current affairs would definitely create strong chances for you in your prelims examination next year. Now, every day you just have to spend 10 minutes with me. Okay? But these 10 minutes spent with me for 1 year till your next year's prelims examination would amount to more than 1200 MCQs from current affairs alone. Now, that would be really helpful for you because as far as current affairs are concerned, you wouldn't have to worry about that in your next year's prelims examination. All right. So without further ado, let's straight away jump in with question number 1. Okay. Consider the following statements regarding PPP, Public-Private Partnership Concessions Agreement. Under Build, Operate, Transfer model, financial risk is borne by the government. Under Hybrid Annuity model, the traffic risk is borne by the government. Engineering, Procurement, Construction, EPC model is the preferred model since entire commercial risk falls on the private player. Okay, how many of the above statements are correct? Now, Build, Operate, Transfer model for road construction. Okay, road is also an infrastructure project. So, Build, Operate, Transfer is that type of PPP model in which the government asks the private player to build an infrastructure facility, for example, a highway, operate it. While the private player is building that infrastructure facility, the private player would also get finance for it. So, private player would spend his own money. While he's operating that road or highway facility, private player has the right to collect toll from it. Through the collection of toll, private player would be able to recover his costs and earn some profit. And after significant recovery of costs through toll, the private player will transfer that highway to the government. So this is known as Build, Operate, Transfer. Now, under BOT model, financial risk is borne by the government. No, financial risk is borne by the private player because he's using his own money. What if after constructing this facility, there is not enough toll to be collected? Okay, then that means financial risk is borne by the private player, not the government. Under EPC model, engineering, procurement, construction, the private player just builds the facility and receives some money out of it. So the private player will build the facility and for that the government would give him money. So the finance is provided by the government, not the private player. Private player is actually receiving finance for it. Okay, and eventually it will be operated by government, toll will be collected by government, and it will be owned by the government. Okay, so in this case, commercial or financial risk falls on the government because government is providing money for it. Private player has no risk. So this is also false. Now, hybrid annuity model is a mixture of BOT and EPC model. What happens is private player builds the infrastructure facility, HAM model, but the finance is jointly shared between government and private. So 60% money would be provided by private, 40% money would be provided by the government. So the financial risk is shared. Now, what is traffic risk? Look, once the national highway is built, okay, what if not enough people are driving on that highway? So not enough toll would be collected. This is known as traffic risk, that not enough traffic is being generated on that national highway for it to be commercially viable. Now, under HAM model, the toll is collected by the government. Okay, so traffic risk falls on the government. So this is correct. Only one statement is correct. Okay, now let's move on to question number 2. Which of the following statements are correct regarding human physiology? Genes in X chromosomes are responsible for testosterone hormone in human body. Higher testosterone is linked with more muscle mass and bone strength. People with female reproductive organs but XY chromosomes have Swyer syndrome. Okay. Now look, you're all familiar with the term genes. Human body is made up of genes, right? We have a DNA which encodes the entire information about our physiology. Okay, we all have a DNA. Now, genes, the entire genes, all your genes contain 23 pairs of chromosomes. All right. Among these 23 pairs, 22 pairs are common between males and females. So they are absolutely identical. One pair is known as sex chromosome, and it is different among males and females. In fact, that's what differentiates males from females. Now, if you have X pair of chromosomes, X chromosome, so one pair, then you are a female. If you have XY pair, then you are a male. Now, what this Y chromosome does is, Y chromosome contains SRY gene. And this SRY gene is responsible for testosterone production. Okay. Now, females don't have Y chromosome, males have Y chromosome, and this Y chromosome has SRY gene, which produces testosterone. That's why the amount of testosterone produced in males is significantly higher than that in females. Okay, so males have more testosterone. Now, genes in X chromosome, no, Y chromosomes are responsible for testosterone hormone in human body. Okay, higher testosterone is linked with more muscle mass and bone strength, and that is why males have higher bone mass, higher bone density, higher muscle strength, and muscle mass also because of this hormone. So this is correct. Now there is a proper disorder, and what is that disorder? It's a reproductive disorder. What happens is a person is born with female reproductive organs. A person is a female, but their chromosome is XY. So they are born with female reproductive organs, but they have male chromosomes. And because they have Y chromosome, they have a lot of testosterone. That is why females like these look significantly like males, because they have a lot of testosterone, so their body gets developed like that of males. Okay. Now, this particular disorder or syndrome is known as Swyer syndrome. This is also correct. The answer to this question would be C. Question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding Axiom 4 mission. It is a collaborative space mission between NASA and a private company called Axiom Space. The mission will send 4 astronauts to International Space Station. Through this mission, Shubham Shukla would become the second Indian ever to go to space. Okay, so there is this private space company called Axiom Space, and it has a collaboration with NASA. Under that collaboration, both NASA and Axiom Space will send 4 astronauts to International Space Station for 10 days. Okay? And this mission is known as Axiom 4 mission. So this is correct. It is a collaborative space mission. Okay? This mission will send 4 astronauts to International Space Station. This is also correct. Now, last year there was this deal between India and USA. Or we should say India Space Agency called ISRO and USA Space Agency called NASA. Now, ISRO is planning to send its own astronauts under Gaganyaan mission. So ISRO has already selected a set of astronauts for its Gaganyaan mission, in which it will send human beings, astronauts, to space. But that mission will be launched in 2025, next year. But India wants to train its astronauts. That is why last year India and USA, ISRO and NASA had some deal. Under that deal, Axiom 4 mission will carry 4 astronauts. 1 astronaut would be an Indian, so that an Indian astronaut has much needed exposure to space, and that exposure will be used for our next year's Gaganyaan mission. Okay. Now, ISRO has chosen Shubham Shukla, an Air Force pilot, Shubham Shukla, Air Force officer, to go in this Axiom 4 mission. And because of this, Shubham Shukla will become the second Indian ever to go to space, because the first Indian went into space was Rakesh Sharma, but he went 40 years ago. So after that, no Indian has ever gone to space. Yes, Kalpana Chawla has gone to space, Sunita Williams has gone to space, but they became US citizens. Shubham Shukla is still an Indian citizen. So after Rakesh Sharma, Shubham Shukla will be the second Indian ever to go to space. So this is also correct. Okay. Question number 4. Consider the following statements regarding International Space Station. It is the largest man-made object in the space, which was launched in 1998. It is a collaborative effort between 5 space agencies of USA, Canada, Europe, Japan, and China. It lies in the high Earth orbit outside the Van Allen radiation zone. Now look, International Space Station is the largest man-made object in space. Yes, definitely. And it was launched in 1998 and it was constructed to send astronauts to space. Okay, so astronauts would go to space and stay there for some while. All right, so first statement is correct. Now, this International Space Station lies 400 kilometers away from Earth. Now, 400 kilometers away from Earth is near Earth orbit or low Earth orbit, not high Earth orbit. High Earth orbit is around 36,000 kilometers away from Earth. Okay, so it is in near Earth orbit. Okay, now this mission, this International Space Station, was a collaborative effort between 5 space agencies. USA's NASA, Canada's Canadian Space Agency, European Union's European Space Agency, Japan's JAXA, JAXA, and not China, Russia. China is not part of International Space Station. And Russian Space Agency is called Roscosmos. So second statement is false. First statement is also false. Only one is correct. Okay. And last, consider the following statements regarding Hamar community of Northeast India. It is a scheduled tribe located in Manipur, Mizoram, Assam, and Meghalaya. Hamar language belongs to the Indo-Aryan family of languages. Hamar tribe belongs to the Meso-Kuki-Chin family of tribes. Now, Hamar community was in news because of recent clash between Meiteis and Hamars in Manipur's Jiribam district. Jiribam district in Manipur. Okay, so Manipur is on fire for quite some time. Jiribam was no different, but this time the clash was between Meiteis and Hamar. So that is why Hamar community is in the news. Now, Hamar has been given the status of a scheduled tribe and it is spread out in Manipur, Mizoram, Assam, Meghalaya. This is absolutely correct. The Hamar language belongs to Indo-Aryan family of languages. No, it belongs to Tibeto-Burman family of languages. The tribals in Northeast speak this languages from this family. Okay, family. Tibeto-Burman family of languages. So this is false. Hamar tribe belongs to Meso-Kuki-Chin family of tribes. So Mesos, Kukis, Chin family, Chin tribe. So Chin tribe lies in Myanmar. So Meso-Kukis, Chin tribes trace their ancestry to one particular parent tribe. Okay, that is why it is known as a family of tribes. So Hamar tribe belongs to this family. So 1 and 3 are correct. Only 2 statements are correct. B. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I'm sure it added value to your preparation, though it would add more value if you're regular, consistent with this lecture series. Make sure you're regular and consistent. Make this lecture series a part of your daily routine, and you'll definitely ace through next year's exam, especially prelims exam, especially current affairs section. Thank you, everyone. On that note, I'll be signing off, and I'll see you next time with another day's current affairs through MCQs. Thank you.